Yeah, a lot of my video, or actually my photo of what happened to me on Saturday night. And man, oh man, I am blown away by the miracle that happened on Saturday because by all rights, I should not be standing here right now. I fell down a 40-foot cliff. And when I fell down that 40-foot cliff, I sort of just gave into it. I just like, okay, this is it. And I went down because there was nothing I could do. Remark at the end of my fall, when I landed, I just said, ow, and got up and walked away. Of course, I had blood coming out of my head. So, needless to say, the people that were with me were kind of disturbed and worried about my possible brain injury. Only there was none. It didn't have an impact. It just kind of ripped the back of my head. And I was not broken. I was not knocked out. I was not hurt in any way other than just this little tear in the back of my head that got stapled together with 12 staples. And I walked out the next mile and a half out of. So while I am tired and my body is healing, I can feel the healing exhaustion, and I'm getting extra rest. I'm sleeping, going to bed early. I'm taking naps when I can, and I am feeling better day by day. Except today, with the news of what is happening with our Supreme Court, I'm recognizing that I am not. I'm not okay. And it's making it hard for me to push through what I'm feeling physically to deal with the reality of what's happening in our world right now. Not only just devastating to me because I'm a female, but it's devastating to me as an American to see what is happening in our country today in terms of the efforts to overthrow our democracy that are clearly happening by a certain number of people in this country who don't believe that we have the right to choose for ourselves in any aspect of our lives. They believe that we're going down this path of decadence or something, of Satan or something. And this is causing them to believe with their whole hearts, and these are good people. And I know these people, and I know that they felt like it was really important that Roe v. Wade get overturned. But what they don't fully get is that means many of our rights are likely to be written now, because now they're saying the states have the right to do whatever they please, and that as Americans we don't have the same rights from state to state to state, that as Americans we have no right to our own choices when it comes to who we marry, where we go to school, what we do with our own bodies in terms of our health. Just this huge change that's happening if they actually do overturn Roe v. Wade. It's not just about Roe v. Wade. And this is what I don't think people get, is that we are in danger of losing our rights and our freedoms in so many ways. Because basically throwing over Roe v. Wade means we're throwing over the 14th Amendment. And in the 14th Amendment, we are not allowed to be treated differently for our choices, if we are, or just by who we are. We're not allowed to be treated differently according to the 14th Amendment in terms of our skin color, our choices for what we do with our own bodies, our our rights to even have access to our children, because just because we're divorced doesn't mean we don't have right to have our children in equal terms with the mothers and the fathers. All of these things are now in danger of being overthrown, and I don't think people fully what this will mean, could possibly mean for our future and our freedom in this country. We will be back to a place where the states could enslave people if they chose to. We are literally back to that place where the states would have the right to do things that would overthrow the women's right to vote, or blacks' right to vote, or in Native Americans' right to vote, or anything they choose. We are the verge of losing the America that we have known for the past 100 years. And understanding this personal impact that it could have on your life, your children's life, your partner's life, my clients' lives, my grandchildren's lives, all of these things that could be hugely impacted by a decision that was made by a stacked court that was set up to destroy our right to our democracy in this country, because by far the majority of the people want people to be able to marry whomever they choose, black, white, gay, straight, whatever, to be able to have the right to vote, to have the right to choose what we do with our own bodies. That is an inalienable right according to the 14th Amendment, which tells us that we are not allowed to be treated differently according to our Constitution, and the 14th Amendment makes it clear. And here we are in this place where those very core basic rights are on the verge of being lost because there are a certain group of people, and I'm really speaking of wealthy white men, who want to how we live our lives. They really want to choose for us what we are allowed to do in the bedroom, in our doctor's offices, at the voting booth, that we are no longer Americans in the way that we have thought of ourselves as Americans. This is not a little thing. And if I didn't have clients lined up today, I would be marching on the Capitol. Not that I think that's going to make much difference. What I do think is going to make difference is for all of us to speak with everyone we know, to help them understand that while there may be specific things that they, like the Roe v. Wade, that they don't agree with, that's fine. But understand that this is not just about Roe v. Wade. This is about the states having the right to do as they please. They can pollute their waters. If you care about our ecology, if you care about our environment, if you care about these things, this means that there's going to be drastic changes in the way our country functions. We will no longer have the right to tell that it's not okay to pollute their waters or their air. This is what we're coming down to, these very fundamental changes that will impact our daily lives and our children and our grandchildren's daily lives. And I am distraught and worried for us that if the majority of us don't stand up and start talking to every single person we know and get them to vote and make a difference, have their voice heard. And yes, we'll have to do it in mass because many of our states are so gerrymandered that it's already a done deal in some of those states where the majority's voice can't be heard. But there are enough of us outside of that can, if we make an effort and put enough time and energy into getting everybody on board to voting, this is how we get our democracy back. And we are on the verge of losing it. I know it may sound extreme, but you know what? 20 years ago, people laughed that Roe v. Wade could be overturned, but yet so could the law about slavery. That could be overturned. The laws about gay marriage could be overturned. There's so many things that we will lose our rights to with this amendment being overturned in such a cavalier way. But it's been planned. It's been planned for a really long time. We have to take our power back. We have to take our voices back, because I believe that each of us has the right to live our lives the way that we want to. It's not going to cause harm to others to marry who we choose. It doesn't cause harm. We have the right to live a free life in a country that I've always believed had as its core basic tenets that we should be allowed to live as individuals within our own rights to exist in the way that we want to exist. So go out and talk to your neighbors, talk to everyone you know, and let them understand what is at risk here, so that we can live the life that I'm hoping and I'm trying with every breath in my life, in my daily life, and in my practice to help people understand that they have the right to be who they were born to be, because that is what truly will make us free, not only outside, but also it will make us free inside. So I'm Melody Brooke. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm a marriage and family therapist. I am a mom and a grandmom. I'm an actor, and I'm becoming an activist, as it turns out. And I really am worried about my grandkids, and I hope that you are too. I appreciate your being here, and please go out and talk to everyone you know. And by gosh, vote. Thanks. I'll see you next time.